So at this point in the campaign, almost all of North America has broken out into war at some point, and I think we're going to continue to see these more minor conflicts. I don't think anything too big will come out of them. It's with time where I think these states will start to snowball. I think by the end of this video, I think we'll start to see someone like Quebec begin to maybe get a little bit more aggressive, because they're the kind of sleeping giant right now. We've seen Texas and Florida and California all go to war. But Quebec, it's been an entire video of peace, which is kind of strange at the very beginning of this game. It's almost been about 15 years into the series. So we're going to see right now. Here's the big war that's going on, Texas against Louisiana. We really want to see, I want to see, if Texas is going to take a bunch away from Louisiana, or if it's going to be Mississippi. I mean, right now the sieges are going for the occupation of Texas, but this was obviously probably sieged by Texas themselves. I don't even know where Mississippi's at. What are you doing, Mississippi? Oh. Okay, because they have claims on all of Louisiana, Mississippi won't be just willing to give this state up. Let me guess. Does Louisiana? Yeah, they have two forts. Louisiana pretty fortified themselves. I mean, some of these states only have one, like Mississippi. So there's a pretty big advantage there for some of these states that have dual forts instead of just one. So Mississippi only at 1, Bama at 2. Tennessee still technically only has 2, which they start off with those 2. Missouri with 3. Is this Kansas? Yeah, Kansas with only 1, so that's kind of unfortunate. Utah with 1. Anyways, Washington only with 1, and they're looking okay. They pretty much divided Oregon in half, calling them, they're just Jefferson now. Like, that's it. That's where they're at. Okay, Manitoba. All right. So people are upset. I don't know if this is because of Alaska. I don't know why this war is broken out, but I'm going to assume, let's see, I don't even know what I'm going to assume. Arizona, Baja California versus Arizona. Arizona calling Sonora, and then Baja California Sur. So a unified Baja might be forming soon. Well, maybe not forming since they're allied, but they're pretty much a unified Baja California. That's kind of cool. Okay, that's in India. I was kind of confused. I was like, is this going on in Mexico? What's going on here? Colorado versus who? Colorado versus Utah and New Mexico. That's still taking place. Again, and I should have made this comment in the very beginning, but I'm going to miss some of the results. I'm going to miss some wars that take place, or I guess some resulting peace deals. So I apologize. Please, if I didn't mention a certain big exchange of tiles, just let us know in the comment section below, so that everyone can kind of keep up there for anyone else that might have missed it. There's a lot of things that I miss that nobody else misses, though, so that's kind of funny. Nevada's back at war? Yeah, Nevada's at war with Colorado. Oh man, everybody's going to war with Colorado, but it's going to be too late. Now, who has most of these claims? Utah. Okay, so Utah might just completely eat Colorado here. It looks like it. Since Nebraska, let's see, Kansas and Nebraska are probably more distracted by Missouri and Oklahoma. How's Baja doing? They're doing okay. Actually, you know what? It looks like Arizona and Sonora have a little bit more of an advantage. A slight advantage. We've got Idaho back at war, this time against Washington. Oh, this is just a single. This is just a mano-a-mano war. And if pretty much whoever wins this battle, which it looks like it's going to be Washington, yeah. So Washington, with only 1 fort currently, might just grab 2 more tiles, which would double their size. They start off with 4 provinces, or 4 tiles. Actually, no, they started with 5. Yep, Colorado's gone. Utah has completely eaten Colorado. Alright, this is a pretty interesting border right here. We've got some Colorado separatists that actually Utah's going to still have to deal with. Unless they just stick in... No, they're trying to leave. They're not going to stay in Kansas. Yeah, since you completely annexed, that's what happens. Texas, how are you not winning this? I'm shocked that Texas is not able to win this. I mean, they probably have war score, but I thought this would be much more dominant in their favor. Doesn't look like it. Keep in mind this kind of Great Lake War that's currently taking place. We're going to see the results there very soon. Looks like Wisconsin has a little bit of an advantage grabbing Michigan. And I'm really interested to see what happens here in Canada. Is Manitoba fighting a second war? Oh, North Dakota is involved. North Dakota just loves being involved in the Canadian province conflicts, I guess. Okay, so yeah, Texas might not have visually looked like they dominated Louisiana, but they ended up taking most things. Mississippi got their one province that they wanted, which actually is a former Arkansas core. But Texas almost completely took out... oh, look at this. Oh, Louisiana. Yeah, so New Orleans still is under Louisiana control, which I'm guessing has a lot of development. Yeah. Another thing we need to keep in mind is development. Oh my gosh, Lafayette? Lafayette has 24 development. How? How does New Orleans have less? Is New Orleans here? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm okay with states. I'm okay with state geography, but where each city is, that's a whole nother realm. It's a whole nother beast to conquer. I'm wondering if that's the case, because Louisiana has a lot of development, which is kind of out of nowhere. And now that Texas has that under their control, I mean, that's going to be a lot of extra power. 24 and 20? Why is Louisiana so developed? Mississippi doesn't have anything close to that. Oh, I mean, kind of. Mississippi actually surprisingly has a few areas. How's Tennessee doing about this whole thing? I think Tennessee starting to stall out here. They obviously got off to a really quick start. But at this point, I think they're like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to mess with these Texas folks. I don't know if I want to mess with these Florida folks. Who are they rival to? They're rival to everybody that in the Deep South that they're not allied to. So North Carolina, Georgia, and the remaining part of Arkansas. Alaska did a quick work of British Columbia. And Manitoba. I'm trying to avoid as best I can of taking on the pronunciation of this province. Saskatchewan. Drew, shut up. Drew, shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Anything going on in the Northeast? No. Okay, so it ended up being that Connecticut only lost one, and actually that was to Massachusetts. Massachusetts looking pretty good too. Grabbed themselves an extra province from Maine and Connecticut. Do they like New York? Now that's going to be the tough spot. They don't like New York. Quebec looks like they might be getting up a quick alliance at some point with New York. Maybe at some point. New York is now involved in this war. Interesting. Oh, wait. Were they involved before? Yeah, they were involved before. I just smoking crack, I guess. And Virginia, while West Virginia probably was caught with their pants down, decides to just kind of walk into West Virginia and probably take all this stuff. Like I said, they have all these cores, so they'll be able to easily sweep through this stuff and take it over. So we'll see a unified Virginia, I think, very soon. Which will just be Virginia, I believe. Is Iowa now involved? Oh my goodness, look what just broke out. So another massive war with these states. While the Great Lake War was raging on, we see Iowa, Illinois. And I'm sorry, it's so natural to say the S at the end. I think I've been saying it wrong my entire life. But so if I do say Illinois, I apologize. It's a habit. It's a bad habit. Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa all getting involved. Oklahoma and Texas teaming up. Kind of a little bit of a rivalry there. So how did you guys get involved? Oh, you probably got Kansas probably called them in. Let's see here. What exactly happened? We've got Indiana versus Michigan. Okay, so that is actually the offensive and the defensive. We've got Iowa versus a single war against Wisconsin. Nebraska versus Missouri. Okay. Calling in Kansas, Missouri calling in Oklahoma, Wisconsin, and Texas. Ooh, yeah, that's kind of a lot. Kind of a ballsy move. Pennsylvania versus New York. Pennsylvania versus New York. Okay, so that is huge. Both of these states pretty powerful in a sense. Kind of trying to check around their development size. Do want to check on Manhattan development or New York. Yeah, 10? 10? 10. I'm wondering what justifies their development, because that is strange. Unless we have like random developments, if that's a thing. That's something that we haven't even checked in on, is development. Let's go and look at this. I just totally messed that up. Okay, so here's development so far in the world. That looks like we might have... Is this random? Because if it's random, that's great. I personally like that because it makes this even more up in the air for like a random civ to win. I don't know. The fact that California or New York doesn't have like a solid green province, this looks random. Which means that this is going to be even more up in the air than before, which I personally like. The last thing I want is to see the same exact scenario play out as the first season of SuperStates mod. Oh, that's I don't know. I might be smoking crack. That might be just something that I'm just going off with. But anyways, Washington took over all of Idaho. So Washington now looking real good too. How's this war? And Missouri took the top northern part of Kansas. So that did not take long for this war to end. We also have Wisconsin versus Illinois, Iowa. Illinois, Iowa. That's still brewing. Is this Great Lake War any closer to ending? Wow, hey, Virginia. Why isn't Virginia doing work? Oh, they're going after the one fort. Yeah, once they grab this fort, then it's over. I see. Pennsylvania versus New York is a pretty big one. And New York called in New Brunswick. Pennsylvania calling in Massachusetts, who's doing really well for themselves. They've got New Hampshire involved as well. And Quebec, again, maybe I'm going to be wrong. Maybe Quebec won't break out into a war. How's Alaska doing? Alberta, Northwest Territories. Are you at war? Oh, yeah, Northwest Territories are at war with Yukon. Really? How? Oh, did you? Oh, that's a single war. All right. Well, they're not going to be doing too well. They've got 6 regiments. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Let's check on Missouri and Iowa. How's this going? 14 stack from Iowa. Dang. Texas. Okay, so Texas is now contributing to the war, so that's how you know it's going to be a little bit different here. What's going on? We've got Iowa. I'm sorry, Ohio. Ohio doing okay, but I mean they only have 2 provinces that are unsieged. It's getting close for them. It's getting close. Oh, we've got the war for Japan, or we got an independence war to break away from Japan. It's actually something that we don't see very often. Maybe it's because I don't play as many Eastern Asian countries. I'm calling everyone states now because it's SuperStates. Virginia's fighting also Illinois. Oh yeah, they've got 39 war score, so Virginia will... Oh, they grabbed the fort, that's why. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, so peace still happened. Ohio's with one province, 1 tile. We've got Michigan getting, I think, the most out of that. West Virginia a little bit more. Now, what will happen, I think, is Virginia's just going to take all of this. Virginia's just going to be like, I'm taking all of it. Bam, give it to me. That's what it looks like. You know, this might not be random because this looks the same. Yeah, I think it might be just because the North America in the start of the 1444 start is not. I don't know 100%, but this looks somewhat normal. It really doesn't matter. I don't see an impact either way, and I don't. Yeah. So, anyways. You know what? Colorado is doing this. They're doing work. For some reason, Utah has not been able to take down these separatists. There's now an 8 stack of separatists, whereas Utah only has 7. So it's really possible that that Colorado is going to get their independence here. I think. You can't take the 420 out of Colorado. So that's, and this is what happens. This is what happens when you try to, Utah. They might get their independence though. Seriously, if they grab a few, if they hold on to their occupations for long enough without Utah being able to help, are they going to attack now? Where would you be attacking? You'd be attacking into the mountains. So if you actually get, you're not going to catch them. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, but she didn't finish up this siege, so that's the thing. Desert. Okay, if the AI is going to attack, they're going to want to attack now, even though they don't have a significant advantage. a 1-2, 1-2-1 leader versus a 1-2-2. Yeah, you wouldn't have an advantage either way, it doesn't look like. Illinois, how are you doing? Not doing the best. I don't think this is going to work out for you very well. Uh-oh. Alright, so Missouri... Oh, okay. Missouri is involved with Wisconsin, Iowa. I think Texas is just helping out Missouri, Nebraska. Well, we'll see what happens. This war is still raging on in Canada, it looks like. Yukon got out of it, didn't they? Yukon survived. Well, no, it's still happening. Never mind. It's still happening. Manitoba now allied to South Dakota, I'm sorry, and Minnesota. Now they've got claims on Quebec, which is another thing that we didn't have access to before, was opinions and where the AI is feeling, what the AI is feeling. So so this is going to be interesting to see like where the AI desires provinces. So Quebec obviously wants Newfoundland, they want Manitoba lands. What about Texas? Actually, I think we did. Didn't we have this? We had this before. I just didn't use it as much. I need to use this a little bit more often. Utah has big plans to expand into all sorts of different regions. Washington. They want to take more of Jefferson. A little bit more of Jefferson, a little bit more of Nevada. Does Nevada and Washington not like each other? That is not the one I was looking for. I'm looking for this one. There we go. No, that's not what I'm looking for either. This should be the opinion map mode. There we go. They don't hate each other. Nevada is hated by Utah, Arizona, and California, and vice versa. I mean, they all hate each other. They all hate Nevada, and Nevada hates them. So, that's going to be a tough position for Nevada to get out of, if they do plan on getting out of that. New Jersey versus New York. So there is a separate war going on for New York. Oh, New York is done. New York, I think, is done now. I mean, let's see. Are these any of these forts? Yes. There have been a few forts that have fallen. One to New Hampshire, and one to Pennsylvania. Virginia's gearing up for probably a peace deal with West Virginia at some point. Is Michigan back at it with Wisconsin? Or they have been still fighting it out? New Brunswick isn't doing that well here either. I am shocked. I guess, I mean, New York was pretty much, you know, caught at all different fronts. That's gonna give you a bad time no matter what when you have to fight like a multi-front war like that. Look at Missouri now. Alright, so Missouri just took 3 tiles away from Nebraska. They took 2 tiles from Kansas. Missouri has one more war to figure out. They got to unsiege this, and they might even be able to take Iowa here. Alright, well anyways, I'm going to stop right there though, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.